Okay, so thank you everyone for joining today's webinar, Leave Liability Insights with AI and PowerBI. For today, I would like to start with our agenda. Then can I please ask you to share the screen, the slides?
Of course. Just give me a second, please.
No problem. Okay.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Perfect.
Yes, if you can move to the second slide with our
Of
agenda
course.
for today. Okay, so we will start with welcome and introductions of our speakers. Then I will speak a little bit about leave liability to explain what leave liability actually is, why it matters, and key challenges with leave liability. Then I will hand over to Dan, and he will do a demo. He will demonstrate dashboards and key metrics, and also he will walk us through insights to action. And very exciting, he will also demo our AI assist for leave liability. And at the end, we will have some time for Q&A. So yeah, if you stay with us the whole hour, then yeah, we can definitely answer some questions. But don't hesitate, you can put any questions, comments in the chat while we are presenting. Yeah, okay, let me start with the introductions. So I'm here with my colleague Daniel. Daniel is an accomplished Power BI consultant with a foundation in statistical modeling and has a great experience in data analytics. His expertise is frequently showcased through his regular appearances at Enterprise DNA events, and he also has twice emerged as the victor in their data challenges. His experience extends to the implementation of Agile HR analytics, providing operational, advanced, and predictive analytics solutions for various organizations. My name is Lucia. I am Principal People Analytics Consultant at Agile HR Analytics. I am a people analytics professional with more than 10 years of experience in people analytics, and I established people analytics as a service for the companies like Deloitte, for example. I have a proven track record in transforming HR data into strategic insights and business impact. I am passionate about empowering HR analytics and bridging the gap between AI-driven insights and real-world application. So then can you please move to the next slide?
Of course.
Thank you. Okay, so let's start with understanding leave liability. I can imagine that for many of you, leave liability is a known topic, but just to refresh what leave liability actually is, it's an accrued cost owed to employees for unused leave, and it's also recognized as a liability in financial statements. Why it matters? Managing it protects cash flow and also ensures compliance. Now I will talk a little bit about the most common challenges with leave liability and also my personal recommendations. So let's start with the first one. Accruals building up over time. So employees may not take their accrued leave, causing liabilities to increase and resulting in significant financial obligations on the company's balance sheet. My recommendation would be to encourage the culture of taking leave regularly, or as we have this saying or policy type in Europe, use it or lose it. in my previous company, when I was still working at Europe, we applied this, and what it actually means was that if we didn't use all our accumulated vacation days during the year, we had only 1 month to use it of the next year. Otherwise, we just lost it. I can imagine that for Australian market, this would be very challenging to implement because leave is protected by law. But yes, I just wanted to share my experience from Europe. And also, my other colleague told me about the other way how to encourage employees to take more of their vacation days during the year. And that's, for example, if you have a good incentive. For example, if you give them additional day, 2 or week, if they actually use all the vacation days within the year, that might encourage them to actually use more vacation days or all of their vacation days per year. Otherwise, they wouldn't get these extra days next year. So now I would move to second challenge with leave liability, incorrect leave calculations. So leave entitlements under the Fair Work Act, modern awards, and enterprise agreements can be very complex. And misinterpretation leads to underpayment or overaccrual. So here, I would recommend that you can use a reputable payroll or HRIS system that automates leave calculations based on the relevant hours and agreements. Also, you can conduct regular compliance audits to ensure the calculations aligns with the legislative requirements. And if you have capacity and resources, you can also provide training to HR or payroll staff to be up to date with the leave legislation. Then the third one, probably the most scary one, is the financial impact on business. So large accrued leave balances can create a financial liability, especially when long-term employees resign or retire, and leave must be paid out at the higher rate. So here, maybe as a recommendation could be to try to forecast the leave liabilities and already include them in the financial reporting. There are some tools that allows you to do a real-time leave tracking and some projections. And of course, you can encourage people or like employees to take their annual leave. So that would be, yeah, another recommendations. And the last but not least, the compliance risks. So staying compliant with changing legislation is very important. Employment law in Australia can change frequently. For example, the last changes regarding the family and domestic violence leave, or for example, paid parental leave. So it's important to be up to date with the legislation, right? So you can either subscribe to HR or legal updates or partner with an employment law advisor. Also, it's important to update internal policies and systems promptly when the legal changes occur, and also ensure employees are aware of their updated entitlements. Okay, so there was a little window into leave liability. And now I will hand over to Daniel to talk more about our dashboards and how you can move from insights to action in leave liability. So then over to you.
Perfect. Thank you, Lucia. Let me turn on my camera.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. You should be able to see me now, right?
We can see you, yes.
Okay, awesome. Perfect. Let me share my screen so that you can see the dashboard. Can you see the dashboard?
No, right now I can still see the slide.
Okay, so let me stop sharing and
Maybe try
then
again.
reshare. Yeah, let me try again. Okay, what about now?
Yes, now we can see. Mhm.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Thank you, Lucia, for the introduction. So here we have Agile HR Analytics dashboard. Just to give you an introduction about the dashboard, this is a Power BI dashboard where we integrate the Power BI with different HCM systems, payroll systems, time off systems to bring in data from um, all around the company to which are related to HR and to provide one source of truth for HR executives and managers to be able to check everything that they need in one platform and in one location. So we have covered 11 different sections here in this dashboard, including Executive Insights section, which we have HR at a glance, Executive Dashboard, top 10 questions, cost distribution, 2 reports on scorecards, and 2 reports on Magic 4 boxes for hires and leavers. In the next section, we have covered recruitment process and requisition process in the company, how we kind of recruit our employees. What are the sources? What is the average time to offer or time to hire? How we recruit males or females. These are the questions that you can find answers for in this section. In the third section, we have covered new starters who recently joined the company. So after we pass the recruitment process, some of those applicants will become employees of the company. So we need to see how many new hires do we have? How many new hires did we have throughout the year so far? And kind of compare the number of new hires for different genders, for different job levels, and even with the previous years. So not only you can see the comparison by gender and job level, but also you can check the period over period comparisons like month over month, year over year, and so on and so forth. In the fourth section, we have covered diversity and inclusion, DE&I. We have focused on kind of demographic related features and diversity related features like generation, race, ethnicity, gender, age band, or so on and so forth. So not only you can see the distribution of employees over the different business units and departments, but also you can check the breakdown by gender, generation, and so on and so forth. In the next section, we have covered compensation information, including salary, average salary, total salary. After that, when you check the kind of total annual salary or average annual salary for the whole organization, you can check to see if there is any kind of pay gap index in your organization, how much is the value of the gap, and how it's distributed over different factors like business units, organization level, and so on and so forth. How you can predict the pay gap for the next few months, which is related to this report, correlation and prediction. What are the correlated factors with the pay gap analysis, and what is the pay gap what if scenario? So using this report, you can kind of plan for the next 4 years to see how you can decrease your pay gap. What are the costs that you need to pay to be able to decrease the pay gap of your organization? In the next section, we have covered engagement surveys analysis, showing you the main KPI, which is the favorability score by different factors like department, business unit, age band, tenure band, or other factors in your organization. One of the important thing about this dashboard is that this is highly customizable. So you can easily customize this dashboard for your needs, meaning that if you don't have any engagement surveys and you want to replace it with, for example, new hire surveys or any other type of surveys that you have in your organization, we can easily customize a dashboard for you. Because the taxonomy, the kind of foundation is already there. We have built it for you. You just need to customize it based on your needs and your requirements. The next section is about headcount and HR profile and trend. So here in the first report, you can see the headcount trend over time, distribution of your workforce over the company by, for example, business unit, location if you have multiple estates or multiple offices, by department, by org level, and so on and so forth. If you have many part-time employees, I think headcount versus FTE report is one of the interesting reports for you, which helps you to understand the difference between total workforce and the full-time equivalent of your workforce. Employee profile enables you to check the individual data for your employees. You can see the historical and trends. Span of control helps you to understand the SOC in your organization and see in which department or in which business unit you need to change it or you need to modify it to meet your goals. In the next section, we are covering performance and training. After that, we have covered related information to time off, leave, and availability, which is the subject of today's call. So here we are focusing on leave taken. In the next report, we showed a number of kind of leave balance based on different factors. We talk about leave liability and book leaves. We also focused and covered absenteeism and availability in the dashboard. So as you can see, these topics are kind of related to each other. So so if you need to, if you want to find and understand the leave liability, we need to first understand the leave taken, leave balance, and it helps us to understand leave liability. Thanks to Lucia to kind of do the introduction about leave liability. But before going to this report and talking about the kind of formula and how we calculate it, first we need to spend a couple of minutes on leave taken and leave balance, and then we can easily understand how are the calculations for leave liability. Okay, let me finish my introduction of the dashboard, and then we will get back to the leave and availability section. In the next section, we're talking about terminations. Here we have a termination profile where we show the distribution of terminations over different factors like gender, generation, department, business unit, category, and reason. We have termination analysis where we show the trends over time, attrition analysis or turnover analysis where you can check the turnover rate for your organization by different factors. We have attrition prediction, where you can check the kind of advanced analytics on a prediction of a risk probability of leaving the company for each one of the active employees in your organization. And finally, we have great resignation, where you can check the attrition rate by different departments. And in the final section, we have covered data governance report, including data quality, data validation, usage metrics, and HR dictionary. Okay, perfect. Any questions so far?
Nothing in the chat.
Okay, perfect.
I
Feel
will keep.
free to put your questions. Yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you, Lucia. Okay, so let's go to the report. So the first report in the leave and availability section is leave taken. When you click on that, it will bring you to this page where you can check the average leave taken for current month, annual leave balance, annual leave liability, and average annual leave liability. So we first need to understand this KPI and this measure, and then we will talk about other KPIs as well. So the first KPI in the leave section is leave taken. How many days or how many weeks are already taken by your employees? Here in this chart, average days on leave by business unit, you can see the average leave taken on days for different business units. So for example, for branding and marketing business unit, there is a kind of small difference between males and females. Average leave taken for females is around 1.9 days, around 2 days, according to the month and year selected here. So December 2024, it was around 2 days. And for males, it was 1.6 days. Same for other departments. So what's obvious here is that the number of leave taken or the average leave taken days for females is a little bit higher than males for all the organizations or all the business units. The amount of difference is kind of different for each business unit, but we can see that for all of them, the average leave taken days for females is a little bit more than males. Here in this bar chart, you will see total leave taken days by type. So the top one is annual leave, meaning that 4,060 days was the leave taken days for the current month according to the kind of date and year selected here, month and year selected. And you can see different types of leaves here. For example, annual leaves, weekend or different types of annual leaves that we have, sick leave, different types of sick leaves, birthday leaves, and so on and so forth. And one of the important options, and as you know, we can always go to the focus mode to check the kind of more details on each one of the charts. But one of the important things here is that if you have kind of many types of leaves in your organizations, one of the recommendations is that to use categories or groupings in your reports and dashboards. So instead of showing all the values here, we can just use hierarchies in the charts. So in the first level, we use the category or the grouping field. And then if they are interested in checking more details, they can go to the next level, they can drill down to the next level and see the details for the items under each one of the categories. For example, here we can have, I don't know, 4 or 5 main categories. The first one would be definitely annual leave. So I will categorize all the annual leave items that we have here under one category or one group, sick leaves under another group, and so on and so forth. So we will have, for example, 4 or 5 categories, main categories and main groups. It helps us to have a better understanding of the distribution of the leave over the company and organization. And then if the user, the HR manager or executive is interested more about kind of taking the values for each one of the annual leaves or each one of the sick leaves, they can easily drill down and see the values. Okay, so let's go to this chart. Here, we are showing average days on leave by age band. And it shows kind of a bell-shaped column chart. It shows that, for example, for the employees who are between 30 to 50, their average days on leave is more than other employees. Here, for example, those with less than 20 years old has the minimum value, a half a day. And here we have for those of employees who has more than 60 years old, we have around 1 day per month. At the bottom, we are showing the trends over time. So here in this chart, you can easily compare the selected year with the previous year, total leave days. So when you hover over these charts, it enables the kind of tooltip for you. You can easily see the difference and see the values for current month and the previous current year and previous year. So it enables you to easily compare the values. And for example, for some months, for example, for December 2024, you will see that the difference is so low and the numbers are too close. But here for June, for example, we can easily see that there is a huge difference between current year and previous year. Okay, perfect. Here we also have average cost of remaining annual leave, which is kind of the leave liability. We will get back to this later. And average leave taken by category and gender. So that's kind of what I was talking about. So if you have a field that shows the category or the groupings like annual, sick, and others, we can use this field here as well to kind of show the leave taken days by category first as the first level of hierarchy. And for the second level, we can drill down to leave types to show the details for each one of the leave types. Okay, if there is no question for this report, let's go to the next report, which is leave balance. Anything, Lucia?
No questions yet, but please don't hesitate. If you have any questions, please use the chat and write the question there. I will then read it or try to reply as soon as I can. So, but no, nothing
Perfect.
as of now.
Thank you. Perfect. Okay, so the next report in this section is leave balance. Here we have kind of an overview section here just to show the leave balance for different kind of leave types. In the first section of this overview, we are talking about accrual leave, annual leave taken, and annual leave balance. In the next section, and all of them are related to the current month. here we're talking about year-to-date values. So it shows the accrual leave or annual leave taken from January until the selected month. So if I have selected December, it means that these KPIs, these values are from January 2024 to December 2024. And if I change it to, for example, October, the number will decrease because we are kind of excluding a couple of months, 2 or 3 months, and so on and so forth. In the third section, we are showing the annual leave balance for year-to-date, rolled over leave balance, and total annual leave balance. And finally, in the final section, we are showing average annual leave balance for current month, year-to-date, and for the last year, so that we can compare the values and understand the trend over time. In the first chart, which is the trend line, we are showing the average annual leave balance for current year versus previous year. So in different months, we can easily compare the values. So for example, for May, we are almost close the average annual leave balance. And for example, for the October, the difference is kind of bigger than other months. And you can easily see the trends and the differences. And please don't mind these February and April. That's because of the demo data that we don't have any yellow dot here and the line is broken. But in the real world scenarios, we will have data values here and it shows the trend line for both years.
And then, sorry to interrupt you. We have a question regarding the report. What is the approximate number of employees with our demo data?
Oh, with our demo data, that's a good question because it helps us to understand the values of leave taken. Why do we have these huge numbers here? So if I get back to the HR profile and trends section, the first report in this section shows a number of employees over time. So here you can see that, for example, for December 2024, we have around 6,881 active employees in the company. So hope it answers the questions. Let's get back to the leave and liability and leave balance. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to highlight here is that you can either, for these comparison analysis charts, you can either use line charts to show the trends for selected year and previous year, or you can use a kind of error bars like this one to show the differences and focus on the differences. If the differences is the first thing that you need to raise it and you need to focus on. So both of these charts are trend lines, but in one we just showed the trends for both years, and in another one we just focus on the differences. Okay, in the next one we are just showing the annual leave balance by business unit, and you can easily see that we have differences for males and females. So for example, for most of the business units, the number of annual leave balance for females is more than males, except the corporates. We have around 30 to 40% difference between males and females here, and it's the opposite of the other business units here. And also we have the same scenario for product proposition business unit. So for this business unit and for corporate, the average annual leave balance is more for males than females, but for other business units, it's the vice versa. At the bottom row, we are showing the leave balance by organization level. So, for example, for executives is the minimum one, 0.1, and for operations is the maximum one, 1.5. Showing that, for example, executives has used their kind of annual leave more than operational or professional organization levels. Here in the middle donut chart, we're showing the leave balance by job level, kind of related to this one, which is the leave balance by org level. It also shows that for operational, it's the maximum one, 1.5, and for the high level, it's the minimum one. And here at the right-hand side, we are showing the annual leave balance by age band. So it shows that the maximum one is for the employees with less than 20 years old, and it's kind of aligned with the leave taken charts that we had in the previous report. So if we get back to the leave taken, yeah, so it shows here that the average leave taken for those employees with less than 20 years old were the minimum one, and now when we check the balance, it should be the maximum one. So that's kind of aligned with the previous report as well. Okay, perfect. Any questions so far?
No, all good.
All good. Perfect. Perfect. And how much time do I have to finalize my presentation? Sorry, you're on mute, Lucia.
Sorry, we are almost at 1:45. So
Okay.
we might have last 17 minutes.
Okay, 17 minutes. And I think we also have a Q&A at the end of the call. So
Yes.
probably I should wrap it up in 10 minutes, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Probably. But I am reading all the questions as they come. So yeah, I wouldn't probably wait to the end. I would rather interrupt you so we can have the answer while sharing the screen. But of course, at the end, we will have some Q&A as well. Some space for
Of
that.
course. Of course. Perfect. Okay, no worries. Okay, perfect. So let me get back to the presentation. Okay, so the next report, which is the subject of today's call, is leave liability, which is kind of the combination of leave taken and leave balance. So first of all, let me talk about the calculation of leave liability. So to understand the calculation of leave liability, we need to first understand how we calculate the leave taken, leave balance, and what are the relationships between those two KPIs. So leave taken shows the number of days that the employee is already taken, and leave balance shows the number of remaining leave. So in leave liability, we want to understand how much does it cost for the organization for kind of paying the values of the remaining leave to the employees. So that's important. So we need to use the leave taken and leave balance, and then we use the employee's rate to calculate the leave liability. In some HCM systems or payroll systems, it uses a base salary to calculate the rate, and then according to the rate, they calculate the leave liability. But in some others, they may prefer to use the total salary cost instead of base salary to be able to calculate the leave liability. And depends on your organization or your company preference, we can customize the measure and formula for you. And what we do, we as I said at the beginning of the call, we bring in data from multiple sources. So we bring in leave data from your time off system. We bring in data, payroll data from your payroll system. And then we combine these two tables or these two columns together and create a measure which shows the leave liability. So we are getting rates from payroll system. We are getting leave taken from your time off system or leave system. And then we calculate the liability based on the remaining balance. And I will show you the measures and KPIs in a minute after the presentation of this report. But just wanted to, highlight it at the beginning of this presentation. So here we are showing a couple of kind of KPIs, high-level KPIs. What is the total annual leave liability for current month? What is the liability for year to date, meaning that from January to October 2024? What is the rolled over leave liability from previous years? And what is the total annual leave liability so far from the kind of beginning today? So as you can see, the sum of rolled over leave liability and annual leave liability is the total annual leave liability. 32 million, 11.7 million, which is kind of equal to $44.1 million. In the first chart, you will see the trends over time, and it's another type of chart that you can use to show the trends over time and compare the values for current year to the previous year. We have showed two other types. One of them was trend lines, the other one was error bar. And this is the area chart that you can use to show the trends and compare the values for current year and previous year. Here, at the top right corner, we have leave liability by business unit. We can also have gender as a legend here, but we already have a donut chart here by gender, so we can easily select on, for example, females or males if we want to check the values for different genders. So when I click on females, it shows that the value is around $0.18 million. And when I click on males, it shows that it's around $0.25 million. So we have the kind of 45%, 55% here as well, almost. Okay, and at the bottom left corner, we have a kind of a leave liability table, which shows the liability and the rates and the liability for each one of the active employees that we have in the organization. So if you're interested in checking the details for one of the business units, for example, let's say we want to check the corporate business unit, we can easily filter it out, and we want to focus on females. We need to hold down the control button and then click on females. And now we have a list of female employees in the corporate business unit, and we can easily sort based on different columns that we have. So here, this table is already sorted by annual leave taken year to date. So it shows that, for example, Patricia Fontes already took 27 days from January 2024 till October. Leave balance is around 27.5, and utilization rate is over 100%. Daily rate is around 175, and leave liability is around 4,000 or 4,000, 4.6, $4.7 thousand. So it helps. It enables you to check the individual data for each one of the employees that you have. So you can easily sort by daily rate if you want to know the maximum rate for example, for C-levels or other employees. If you want to check by leave liability, you can sort based on leave liability, or you can leave it by leave taken. Okay, Perfect. Any question about this report? In the next report, in the next section, I want to focus on measures and KPIs. So if you have any question about the design, about the putting different charts and graphs in different locations, or how we manage these reports, please ask your questions. Otherwise, I will go to the Power BI desktop to show the KPIs and measures that we have used in these reports.
Mhm. Then there are no questions. And just regarding the time, there are 10 minutes left to the end of the webinar.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. I try to wrap it up in 5 minutes so that we can have, 5 minutes for Q&A. Okay, perfect. Let me open the Power BI desktop. So can you see Power BI desktop, or you are still seeing the web page?
We can still see the dashboard, Leave Liability
Okay.
report.
So let me stop sharing. Okay.
Okay, we can.
Can you see Power BI desktop?
Yes. Yes, we can.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So here, that was the leave taken, and here we have leave liability. Okay, let me first show you the leave taken. So, as you know, Agile HR Analytics is a pre-built dashboard. We already have all the measures and KPIs related to the HR subjects. Here in this measure table, we have kind of categorized all the measures into different groups, and one of them is leave and availability. Under this folder, we have some subfolders which kind of shows different measures for each section. So, for example, for leave taken, we have a couple of measures that shows the leave taken for your organization. And one of the kind of core metrics in this section is leave taken for current month. And that's how we calculate it in the dashboard. So don't consider this variable. We can cover it later. It's just for one of the field parameters that we have used in the dashboard. You don't need to use it if you don't have the field parameter to be able to switch between, for example, days and weeks in your visualization. But here, this is the main measure that we have used. So we have used a calculate function to be able to add these filters. We have a summing where we have a leave table, and then we are applying a couple of filters here. So if the unit of time is equal to hours, we should divide the leave approved by hours in a workday. Otherwise, if it's in days, we just need to sum the total approved values. That's kind of enable you if you have multiple unit of time in your data. So for example, if you have hours, if you have days, if you have minutes, if you have weeks, you can easily follow this structure to kind of calculate the accurate value of total leave taken for the current month. So if you have more than 2 or 3, you can easily add items here to calculate that. For example, let me show you how it works. Let's say instead of hours, we also have, for example, weeks. So what we need to do is just to add weeks here, and then kind of update this row to be able to kind of calculate the correct value here. And instead of if, because it's more than 2 conditions that we need to check, we just need to use switch function. And I'm pretty sure that you're already aware of that, but we just need to use switch through statement, and then we can add multiple conditions here. So if it's hours, follow this formula, divide the number of approved by, for example, hours in a workday to calculate the number of days. If it's weeks, we don't need to kind of use divide because we want to change it to days. So we need to multiply that by 5 if it's kind of 4 weeks, or do the other math if based on whatever formula that you follow in your organization, and so on and so forth. So you can easily add multiple conditions here in this report. Okay, let me go to the next measure that I wanted to explain here. So that was the leave taken. After you calculated the kind of leave taken in your organization, in your dashboard, you need to, hope it doesn't change. Okay, perfect. After that, we need to go for leave balance. So let's just focus on annual leave balance. So what we have done here, we have calculated the leave balance using total leave balance and the actual leave and annual leave taken so far. So let's get back to the total leave balance first. Yeah, here it is. Okay, perfect. So how we calculated? We calculated using kind of summarize function for each one of the employees. We're just using latest balance per employee. And I'm pretty sure that in the latest balance per employee, we should have used kind of leave taken and so on and so forth. So we can easily check it together. Latest time off.
Then just be mindful.
Oh, we already.
We have last 3 minutes. Just.
Oh, okay. So yeah, let's just focus on the leave liability formula. So for the leave liability, we have annual leave liability. In this kind of formula, we're just using the rates, and then finally we return the sum of annual leave balance multiplied by rate for each one of the employees, and then we sum it up. So we sum the values for each one of the active employees. And how we calculate the rate, we have units, which is again related to the field parameter. If it's 1, which means that it's based on a daily value, so we just need to use daily rates. If it's 2, it means that it's on a weekly basis, so we need to multiply that by number of workdays per week. And then finally, we can calculate the annual leave liability like this. Okay, thanks. Thank you everyone for joining, and hope it helps you to have a better understanding of the leave taken, leave balance, and leave liability, and how we calculate it in the HR dashboard. Thank you, Lucia.
Yes, thank you, Dan, for showcase our demo and like what everything we can do with the dashboards, right? I think it's amazing how we can monitor all the leave liability and all the costs and across the whole organization or genders or like, yeah, departments. Yeah, I think it's a pretty valuable tool. So if there are any questions, I was monitoring the chat, but yeah, there were no questions in the chat, but still, if you have any other questions or you would like to reach out later, so don't hesitate to send us email. I don't know if you know our email address, but it's like my name, lucia.petriskova at agile-hr-analytics.com. So please, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly. And yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for joining. Oh, yes. Also, yeah, that's our general um, email and website. So, okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Goodbye.